All right, we're knocking these essential elements out of the ballpark. This is essential element number 4, and it may seem simple, but it's so very important. It's vocal health. A lot of times, singers come to me when they're sick on the road. Example, Miles Kennedy, when he was on tour with Alter Bridge a couple of years ago, was really sick, and I actually told him how to mix up a vocal concoction that he could gargle to make him through the night. And Miles will even attest to this. It was rough, but he made it, and then he was going to go to a doctor and, have steroids and this and that, and I kind of talked him out of it, and he followed what I said about steaming and different things, and it got him through the performance. Yes, he was sick for about a week, but he made it through. So I'm just going to start grabbing some various stuff that I have here that I think is essential for every singer to have. The first thing, the most important thing, is water. I drink at least a gallon a day. And it's so important because it's like the lubrication. It's the singer's oil. If you're not hydrated and you're not drinking enough water, you're going to have this this constant clearing on your throat. And when you spit up, it's going to be like nasty phlegm, kind of yellow. Now, you should always have phlegm on your throat, but it should be very clear and lubricated because it's diluted with water. So, I drink 1 or more of these a day. In fact, it's only 11:10 in the morning, and I'm just about done with this first one. I also keep this with me, this bottle here. Now, this is from a company called Zuma. I actually add something to my water called X2O, and which brings up another key element for singers is we have to stay healthy. Part of staying healthy is having enough calcium in your system. So I add this teeny little sachet from this packet here, and I put it in my water. Put it in here and I shake it up really good, and it actually gives me really finite or minute amounts of calcium and other trace minerals such as zinc and silver and things like that in my water to keep me going and keep me healthy. I literally stand by this product. My second Japanese show, I was actually sick in bed. It's about 3 years ago. I was sick in bed for 6 days, and I had a 102-degree temperature the day of filming. I was so sick. And I had X2O before, but I quit using it, and I got sick. So right after that, it was a horrible experience, but I made it through. I go back on X2O, and I haven't stopped. And there's a couple times I ran out, and I did get a little fluish-like, so I make sure to keep my X2O. If you want to check it out, go to singerswater.com and learn more. But you got to have plenty of water. You need at least a ½ an ounce per pound of body weight per day. Other things that you can add to separate water that you need, we just talked about calcium, is you need lots of vitamin C. Vitamin C keeps you healthy, keeps your immune system pumped up and amped up, just like you should be as a singer. I use Emergency. You can also get chewable vitamin C tablets. There's other forms. I'm not telling you what to use, but this is just something I use every day. When I mix up Emergency, I also add stuff to my water. Like I'll do 2 of these packets. I may put in a little stevia to sweeten it. I sometimes add liquid slippery elm, which is a demulcent. It's really good to coat the pharynx of the voice. And that's just to kind of sweeten it and kind of amp it up. I also add stuff like liquid licorice because that's kind of like a natural cortisone. It helps to reduce swelling of the vocal cords. Speaking of which, licorice and slippery elm. Also like throat cooked tea. It's really good. Warm tea, for one thing, the warm water kind of warms everything up and opens everything up. But the slippery elm and the licorice in this is just amazing for singers. I've been taking this stuff for about 20 years now. I love it. It tastes sweet, tastes good. It's my tea of choice. Brings me to zinc. I use liquid zinc. This is a bottle called Ionic Zinc by Liquimens. I get it at Vitacost.com. I put about 10, 11, 12, 15 drops in my water or when I make my vitamin C mix. I'm always trying different concoctions. But zinc is the singer's mineral. It helps to rebuild vocal tissue. Singers like James LaBrie from Dream Theater actually use the tablets. I do too. When I go do a show, I have tablets on me and they dissolve in your mouth. He takes a ½ a tablet before he sings, a ½ a tablet afterwards. It's such an amazing mineral. Definitely. So every day you need calcium, vitamin C, and zinc. And look, I'm not a doctor. So don't follow me. I'm not a nutritionist. I don't know anything, but this is what has worked for me. I don't take any responsibility for what you do. Please talk to your physician about this before you try anything that I'm talking about here. I don't really think I have acid reflux, but in case I have, I've used stuff like organic apple cider vinegar if I've had heartburn to knock it out really quick. But if I feel like I'm ate too much or whatever, I use this, what's called Reflux Ease. This is by TravelWellness.com. They also make the most amazing vocal spray in the world called Vocal Ease. It's like food for the voice. I'm actually out right now, which is kind of bizarre, but I do have their Pro's Choice, which is more like a voice grease, you know. Spray it in if you feel a little dry, kind of coats everything, lubes everything up, get that saliva back. This is for that. Now, Vocal Ease, like I said, is food for the voice. It has lots of herbs in it that help to kind of build the vocal tissue and keep you healthy. So that's things you want to do. For me, I have a lot of allergies. I have a rare skin disease, and allergies affect it. They also affect my sinuses where I live. And if I have a sneezing fit, it affects my throat. So I have to keep my sinuses really clean. So I use only one product. I use Neilmed. This is what's called a neti pot, made by Neilmed Pharmaceuticals. You take off the top. They have these little packets of salt. You put a little bit in here, warm water, shake it up. You put it in your nose, and it'll drain out the side. Ah, there was a little bit in there. I just got it in my nose. So, you do this every day. You brush your teeth every day, correct? So why wouldn't you use this? If you have a little more congestion or you're on the road, they also make the Neilmed Sinus Rinse. And all this does, it lets you squeeze it. And it gives you a little more pressure. You know, with the neti pot, and when you're doing this, it's a very gentle flow. If you got some blockages, or you're a singer and you work construction and you get a lot of dirt up in your sinuses, you can use this to flush everything out, like irrigating everything, cleaning it out really well. Also, when I do a lot of plane rides, like when I do TV shows in Japan or Paris or whatever, I'll take what's called Nasamist, because I can't really flush my nose on the plane, and I just squirt this up on my nose. It's a saline solution that kind of flushes everything out. So I use that as well. A couple other things, and I think we'll be good to go. If you're ever nervous, and trust me, if you're not nervous, you're not passionate about what you do. I'm always nervous. I'm nervous before I do a TV show, but when I walk out in front of the audience, it all leaves me, because I take that nervous energy and I turn it into something amazing. You know, I focus it in the performance. But the really cool thing is this Bach Original Flower Essences, Bach Remedies. You spray this on your tongue a couple times, and I'm not really big into flower remedies. I don't know a lot about them, but I know just from using it, it kind of helps to relax everything and gets you really focused on doing what you want to do. Last thing is what I'm wearing. This is called a Q-Link necklace. I love this jewelry. It's performance jewelry. It's based on a technology that actually works with the energy of your body. You know, we're all made up of cells. We're all vibrating, pulsated energy. We're a giant battery. We're a giant tuning fork. This resonates with your tuning fork. It's not hocus pocus or anything. It really, really works. There's professional golfers, professional bass players, guitar players, musicians, singers that use this stuff. Jimmy Page has been seen wearing this. What it does, it's performance jewelry. It really kicks you everything into gear. It gets you in the zone. I don't teach without it. I don't perform without it. I've got many Q-Link products. This is called the Ally. They actually don't make it anymore, but they make something called the Nimbus. And I don't actually have my Nimbus in here, but it plugs into your computer, and it just energizes the area, keeps you focused. What can I say? It works. I've got many singers who just buy this little pendant through artistqlink.com or venderaQlink.com, and they wear it and they notice, you know, like, wow, I feel like I'm more in tune and more focused on what I'm doing. And let's face it, singing is such an intense thing to do. I mean, you're really an Olympian if you're doing it right, and you have to get into the zone. Consider this your zone. This will focus you into the zone. Check it out at artistqlink.com. Start drinking more water, vitamin C, zinc, calcium. Flush your sinuses daily. And, you know, take your vitamins, your herbs, and I'll see you next Essential Element. Hope this kind of shed some light on some things for you, and I'll see you tomorrow.